Hello, 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 and welcome to season 4. What episode we at, Rob?
13.
13. All right, I don't know. I just come here and show up for the show. I am your host, Ro Carter, and my co-host, amazing co-host, Rob Smith. How are you, buddy?
I'm great. Well, actually not great. I was very sick yesterday and today, but I'm putting on a good face.
Doing great, buddy.
Thank you. I'm trying.
People still getting COVID?
I know. I was like, what is happening? Why is this still happening? But yes, COVID.
How'd you get it? Partying? What'd you do?
No, I think it was just being around somebody who had just traveled and they got it, and then I got it from them.
So there was a super like cold that was flying around. My girlfriend went to Maine and she came back in Boston, and then my friends went to New York, and everybody just got this crazy thing. So I'm glad when I was out in LA a couple weeks ago that I did not get anything. You gotta take care of yourself, people. Gotta treat your body right. Gotta put the right things in your body.
Take care. Drink lots of water.
Because we're not gonna have any insurance show.
Let's not go there.
No healthcare. Yeah. Happy Friday, everybody. All right, so catch up with Rob as usual. We decided to do two things for you tonight. We have Lil Kev, Kevin Hart's new cartoon that's on BET, and then Beauty in Black. I mean, come on, people. This show is crazy. I'm so excited to talk about that. Tyler Perry's new show on Netflix got picked up for season 2. I love when black people get more work, so I'm not gonna hate on that. We're gonna have interesting conversations about a lot of things. So let's start off with Lil Kev. So the idea of of Kevin Hart having his first cartoon. I remember there's been other specials. Who was the other? Howie Mandel did when I was growing up, he had a cartoon where he was a little kid. So we've seen this before. Who was the other guy? The heavy-set white guy. He was in Coming to America. I can't think of his name right now. I'll get it. But there was Andy something. He had a cartoon. So there's been a couple of actors and comedians that have made it to cartoons. So when you go into this, you're like, okay, there's already a base of how it could be. Cartoons. What do you want to be? The Boondocks, Bebe's Kids. You know, where are we going with this? And so when I went into this, I went in here this with open arms, open eyes, and I was going to see what Kevin was going to do. I like the premise. I like that he kept it real. It takes place at his home in Philly, growing up as a young kid. The first episode has to deal with him going to practice to make the team for basketball. And in doing so, leads to a riot. How it happens. But you learn about his family and how his bond with his mom, his dad being a recovering drug addict and drunk, kind of dealing with him, his brother and his uncle, and kind of giving him these tools, also trying to grapple with, the streets of Philadelphia in those days. So you really kind of learn about how his life was growing up, his family dynamic and relationship. And then, you get a feel of the grittiness, which I wasn't sure how he was going to do this. I was like, are we going to be like a playful cartoon, or is it going to be like raw, like, let's get to it? So it's a little bit of both. I don't know how I feel about that. I don't know what the demographic is at this age. I don't know. What'd you feel about it? What were you thinking about going into this?
One, I love that they use like old school cartoon animation. It's not like overly animated. It doesn't look like Avatar. Like, I love that they use like old school classic cartoon. And I do love that it is raw, unfiltered. This is maybe not for kids, but
that's what I'm saying. Who's your demographic?
I love that because I do love the fact that he's telling his true story, like of his experiences growing up in Philly, the drugs, the violence, the being raised by a single mother, his uncle living with them. I'm sure there's a lot of elements to the show that any person could, whether they grew up like in a bad neighborhood like that or grew up in a little bit of a more polished neighborhood, there's still elements of this show and elements of his experience growing up that I'm sure every single person who's of color who watches this can probably relate to. So I thought that was great, and I thought it was a great approach to it.
Yeah, I think we all know somebody that's a character in this show. Yes. Like growing up, especially in the 80s and 90s. Yeah, you felt that vibe. I kind of like how they politely touch on certain things. Like there's the FBI agent who puts like crack in the middle of the hood and then he leaves and it was like, oh, there's crack. And I'm like, that's, some people might miss that, but that's a beautiful point to put out there. Also the homeless kind of vibe and what you have, I think we have one perception of who homeless people are, but I kind of like and respect that he actually gives them life and they are human beings versus just putting push to the side. So that's a great point on that. The only disappointment and knock I may have in this is that I regret, I didn't want to, Kevin Hart's voice in his younger self, it doesn't flow for me. Does it flow for you?
No, I thought about it for 2 seconds and then I was like, I actually love it.
Really?
Because, yes. And I love it because the character, his younger self was always him and always had the foresight to know he wanted to move on to greater things. And that's kind of like a running theme through the show. Like his mother babies him, but he's at a point in his life where he feels like he's
grown.
He's aware of what's going on in his world. And he's not a baby and he wants to be able to make decisions for himself. So it kind of works. So I kind of liked it from that perspective.
Okay. Yeah, I went in there and I was like, and I guess because I'm already in my brain about how a cartoon should be. And, that's typically what you don't do. Like I said, the Howie one when I was a kid, it was like, oh, this is produced by Howie, but like he has a little, because he had a voice that he would do. And I was like, oh, it'd be interesting to see if Kevin does a younger voice or have his son play his younger self, just to feel that energy. So again, it's neither here nor there, but it was just an interesting point. I love Wanda Sykes is in this. She's great as the mom. DM Cole plays Uncle Richard. Kevin plays young Kevin, of course. Gerald Slink Johnson plays Henry. And Jamar Neighbors plays Robert. So again, very playful, great animation. Like I said, a little throwback to how animation used to be. It's not over the top, which is nice. And you get a touch of Philly. So if you didn't really know Philly growing up, being from New York, I kind of felt that vibe. So if you were from like Chicago, LA back in the day, New York, any of those big cities, I think you still can feel this energy. If you're not from those, you're like, oh, you get a peek view of how it used to be versus going in the history books. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Excuse
me, sorry. Yeah. Anything you want to add to that?
Yes, I thoroughly enjoyed the writing. Before that, there's some other people who are in it. I didn't know Cree Summer was in it, and I love Cree Summer. And then Angela Johnson plays the coworker of the mom.
She's funny. She's funny.
Yeah. So it's hilarious. But the writing is so good. And then there's little small moments that there were several times where I had to like pause it so I could read things. One, like his mom is afraid for him to like experience the world, so she makes him join all the clubs at school, and he's in like the crochet club. There's a picture of him in the crochet club hanging on the wall
in the back. A lot of people didn't see that. I was looking. Yeah,
exactly. And then like the sign over the door at the hospital, it says we take them 8 to 80 blind, crippled, and crazy.
Like
it's just all these little
things. Little things you really have to look at the signs in the street and stuff like that. So
exactly.
There's a lot of Easter eggs in the show if you take your time to kind of look through it and kind of go from there. So they did a whole season. You can see it. It's on BET right now. BET is also doing a free 1-week pass. And $10 a month after that. So try it out.
About that. Well, it's $5.99 if you want commercials. I did it with commercials. I'm sorry.
Listen. I've learned a lot, and I was told, "Are you gonna pay the non-commercial money?" And I was like, "Okay, that's right. That's true." So
I will pay.
We get commercials. We get commercials, people.
I will save $5 and keep the commercials going.
There was a black comedian. He was like over his friend's house. There was a joke. It's on Instagram, and he's over his friends like drinking. He's like, "Oh wow, you guys are poor." He's like, "What is?"
Why? There's
commercials? Like, oh my god, this is what you do? This is crazy.
Some of us are just smart with our money.
Yeah, like you just sit here the whole time and watch commercials. I was like, that's messed up. That's deep. That's deep. But
my god! And then one of my other favorite moments was when Lil Kev is like trying to convince the mom to let him play football. I think it was. Or just so he wanted to try for basketball. Yeah. And then she said, "Oh no! When she puts everything in the garbage disposal, like she puts."
Oh yeah, that was crazy. I was like, "What kind of garbage disposal is this?"
Well, I guess that's the running joke about black people. And then she put the DVD in the garbage disposal, And then she said he could listen to MC Hammer because she loved that song. She's like, because she didn't want anybody trying to bother him because he sings that song, Can't Touch This.
Yeah.
I was like on the floor. There's just so many good moments throughout
There is,
it.
and I also love that you play homage to Marvin Gaye. Like, hey, put on some Marvin Gaye, son. Enjoy this, So touching on music like gangster rap was big back then. They don't use an actual name, so they make a name up. But it was very interesting to see that. She just throwing the CDs, and then he had some. I remember kids, you had to hide the chips and like the bad food from your parents, and so sneaking in your bag. What is this? And why are you holding your bag like that? Why are you hiding your bag in the corner? I'm like, there's nothing in there. And then they see, like, this is what you do with the money I give you for school, like So learning that, so you really can feel that inner child in you coming back out again. So well done, congrats. See where it goes from here.
I think it's gonna go great.
Yeah, a lot of potential. And then there's also a lesson too, his mom is trying to teach him, hey, you can't do things all the time. You're not an adult. You're still a child. So there's a lot of things you have to respect. And he kind of learns that through every episode. So that's really good. It's like that teaching moment that I think everybody needs to learn, especially as they're growing up, to become a better person. So that's it.
I love the relationship between Wanda Sykes and the dad. It is.
Yay.
It is the most comic relief, I think, in the show, that relationship. What she said, one of my favorite lines too, where she said, and don't forget, you're a stepdad, you can't come past the steps.
Yeah, I was like, there's one, and Wanda's great at that too, doing those one-liners. So it's gonna be interesting to see their banter back and forth, because she kicked him out of the house. He was a recovering drunk, going in and out of that, becoming homeless. So he would always come by the house. And this is based on Kevin's true life. So that's how his dad was. And so just you feel that, you see that, but also there's love there. Like she even says in the hospital, I still love that man, but he's crazy. And I know he's not good for us. So, if you can probably relate to that if you growing up in your household, if your parents were separated, or just a relationship between your parents kind of growing up. So there's deeper layers in each episode and through each character, which slowly start coming out. So you have a better understanding of who they are. So great casting. Shout out to them. Did a really good job. So excited to see where it goes.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, you want to rate it or you just want to keep it going?
No, we can keep going. We don't.
Okay. All right. Not going to rate it. All right. You only rate movies. All right.
Oh, God. No, we can rate it.
So anyway, check it out. It's on BET. All the episodes are full up. There you go. Boom. Next show. Beauty in what?
One more note. Koku actually interviewed Kevin Hart.
Kevin Hart and Wanda Sykes for that. So please check out blackfilm.com. You can see Koku's interview with Kevin Hart and Wanda Sykes. It's hilarious, by the way. You should definitely check it out. Or follow Koku on Instagram as well.
And follow @BlackFilm on Instagram.
And yes, that too. I should plug that for us. We'll see it afterwards. Anyway, next show up is Beauty in Black. Tyler Perry's new endeavor on Black Beauty. And this is on Netflix. This started, a couple months ago? A month ago? When did this come out?
Yeah, I think it came out a few weeks ago. Part 2.
Was it for you? Okay. So anyway, season 1 is...
It came out recently. Was it this week?
I thought
they started promoting it like a few
Yeah, promo season 2 for that. But yeah. So a month ago it came out. So I don't know where to be on this. So this show is about a very powerful, rich Black family that made their money through Black hair. And their product has blown up to the point where now they're getting sued because they're saying it's causing cancer. So we learn about all these characters through this family. The first episode has to do with we learn about Kimmy, the young girl who is actually working at a strip club. She got caught up in a mess and she's trying to get out. And so we see her go to this scholarship, trying to get a scholarship for this beauty school. And she wants to get out of this bad life that she has. But because she's caught up and she has a scheduled appointment she has to be at, she misses the opportunity to get the scholarship. And so we kind of see her life unfold and we see it from two sides. Now, I watched the whole thing and we're just doing the first episode today. This show is crazy. Crazy.
Part 2, right?
Yeah. What?
You watched the whole thing?
I watched 1 to 16.
Dang, okay.
I thought we were doing everything. That's why I did it. That's why yes, trust me. My brain has been, listen, ladies and gentlemen, this show is so crazy. And so what I found out in a good way, But you know what it is? Tyler Perry thinks he's slick. He has some of the most, when I tell you the top tier of soap operas, actors, like when I tell you they body their roles where you're either like, that was amazing, or you're crying or you're laughing. Like it's one of those areas where you don't know. There's a scene, I don't want to give too much away, but there's a scene where one of the actors says, "Girl, you smell like Jim Crow." She says, "You smell like Jim Crow. Get your nasty ass away from me." I was crying. There's so many one-liners. It's all the shooting scenes, the gangster scenes. It is like it's on steroids. So I was like, how can I understand this show? Like, how is he allowed to get away with this? And I said, oh, you know what it is? It's a soap opera with a budget. That's what it is. It's a soap opera. Hold on. Hear me out again. Think about it. Think about what I just said. Soap opera with a budget. Because only soap operas go all over the place like this. You know, like this show, you didn't see all the rest of the stuff. Trust me, you're going to come to me next week like, you were right, bro. That's soap opera with a budget. That's what it is, soap opera with a budget. Anyway, so we follow these characters. We learn about it's kind of like a Black Dynasty.
That's the Gates.
How's that negate? No. Because again, it goes to the extremes. Where like Dynasty did some stuff, but these guys are doing some crazy stuff. I'm like, they don't even hold a match. Dynasty doesn't even hold a match to the first 6 episodes of this. When you think it's going crazy, it gets crazier. Like you can't believe the scenes in this, and it's a balance of acting good with the bad. It's all over the place. It's so chaotic. But you're addicted to it and you want to watch another episode. I can't believe I'm saying this, but you want to watch another episode and you want to watch another episode. What did you think about this, Rob?
Well, I thought so I watched all of part 1, and you're right. When I watched all of part 1, I was like, I kind of want to watch one more episode, and I feel guilty about it, but I'm going to do it. And then by the time I got to the end, I was like, I can't believe my brain allowed me to do all of this, but I did it. And I'm kind of addicted and I want to know what happens next. So it's like, I don't know, it's like eating bad food that you start craving after a while and you just can't stop eating it because it's very, very good to the palate. But at the same time, your brain is going, I don't know, something's not right about this. So I watched part 1. I watched episode 1 of part 2 and I was floored. Floored at our return. I knew there was going to be some violence. I did not expect the level of violence that it was taken to, but considering the first part was so unorthodox and crazy, I guess this just made sense for it to go there. I am just at a loss for words, but I will say it seems like they upped the production value for part 2 of season 1 because the quality feels a little bit better. It looks a little bit better. The editing makes the acting feel a little bit more digestible. So this the part 2 is already starting off to be strong, even though again, like you said, it's addicting. You can't stop watching it. I don't know what it is.
Well, like Tyler Perry said, you ain't ready for this. You said season 2, Beauty and Black, you ain't ready for this. That's what it says. That's how they start the season. I would highly recommend, you have time right now. I kind of like series when there's another season, so now I can catch up. That's what I binge watched, so my brain was like an sensory overload. But I really got to enjoy the characters for what they are. I don't believe these people are actually nice people in real life after seeing the show. I can't fathom you can go home.
I mean, Mallory seems like an awful person. She just like the worst person on earth.
Shout out to Crystal Stewart. She is beautiful, gorgeous on screen. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. She is the devil.
The devil.
She's the devil wrapped in a dress. None of this starts if she was just a nice person.
She is literally the devil wears Prada. Like she is the devil on the show, and she's always dressed to the nines.
Shout out to Debbie Morgan too. You've seen it in soaps. She plays Olivia Valerie. She's the mom to the 2 young sons and the husband of Horace. He's the dad there. And so she gets gangster. So I love her because she's always plays the nice woman. But Debbie, there's some scenes where she curses her sons out at people.
I said they got Debbie Morgan in here in bed with this young man. I said she is gangster. I said okay.
Debbie smoking cigarettes, hooking up with young guys, and then killing brothers and play. Stop being a bitch. Put that bag on. I'm like, yo, Debbie. It's part of my French, everybody. But I'm like, they got Debbie saying stuff that I'm like, I was like, Debbie, what are you saying?
I was floored. I said, but she killed it, of course.
She killed it. Like literally, I mean, that's what I'm saying. You can't believe some of the dialogue that's in. I want to know, please, can Black Film, can we start interviewing these guys? I want to know how much is just improv versus like this is written down on page. Seriously, there's no way the majority of this stuff is written down, right? Is it? There's no.
I feel like this is all scripted and written down. I do.
Shout out to Richard Lawson who plays Norman. He's great too. Old school. He soap opera king as well. So I really love the balance. Great cast. There's so many shades of melanin on the screen. There's a little bit of something for everybody. The only thing I was annoyed with is the whole strip club and that chick, the body in the first season. Oh my god, she was I know girls like that growing up back in the day. I'm just like, please go away. So there's definitely some characters that are gonna piss you off. Even the sons, like they can be annoying at sometimes. Rob, I actually see you playing the younger son, Charles.
I actually auditioned for the oldest son.
The older one? No, but I can see you playing Charles. Just the way he plays it.
I know, but I auditioned for Roy. Surprisingly, I think probably I should have auditioned for Charles.
I think you would. I think you could have nailed Charles. You needed the abs though. He's ripped. You need the abs. You didn't have that then.
It's a lot. Well, I didn't have to take my shirt off for the audition. So
I mean, but this brother got his shirt off the whole entire every shirt. There's more dudes with shirts off in this than I've ever seen. You don't see any boobies. They're just men, and that one dude. Shout out to this brother, Terrell Carter, who plays Barney. He always got oil on his body. He could be sleeping in bed. This dude always lathered up in oil. I'm like, what?
I've known Terrell for a very long time, and I'm happy to see him.
Ask him why is there so much oil on his body all the time.
I did ask him. I said, would he want to do an interview with you? And he said yes. So I think I connected you guys, but
no, you didn't. That was another guy. That was the other guy.
No, I did. I'm gonna go back and do it again. Watch.
Anyway, like I said, this show is kind of all over the place. Can be chaotic at sometimes, but it is very, 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 very entertaining. Hence why I got a season 2, I guess. There you go. So Tyler Perry knocked it out the park. Like I said, I think there's something, and you can talk about this more than I can. But when you're an actor and you have the opportunity to make it your own, so that I can't see anybody else playing that character but you, right? Can you talk about that at all? Like what that means when you see something on the paper, you're like, hey, you know what? Make it your own. Really like create the characters that we are like, wow, we're either invested, we hate you, or we love you. You know, and that's deep, and that's honestly that's how you feel about the majority of these characters on screen. It's either I love you, I hate you. I'm like, you know what? I don't trust this person that much.
Yeah, and I think a part of that is a testament to them as well, because when they walk into those roles, they're not judging their character for the things that they say and do. They're actually embodying the character and living truthfully in that, you know, dialogue that's given to them. So they're not judging that character walking in. Because I mean, I'm sure that Crystal Stewart had to like look at the dialogue from Mallory and be like, this woman is out of control. Like what the things that come out of her mouth. But you know, she does do a great job of like living true, like wholly in that character. So I don't know. It's very interesting, this show, watching it. Part 2, the first episode. Now I'm going to probably watch the next episode after this while I lay on the couch and try and recover. But I could not believe what the journey Tyler Perry is taking us on already. The first episode into part 2, Tyler Perry. Oh my God.
It's a lot of stuff.
And kidnaps and oh my God. It's just
I'm like, we're just going this crazy. We're just doing whatever we want. Okay. You said no holds bars. Oh, they gave us a budget too? Shoot, let's go. Let's go. If I was to interview the cast, I thought about this the other day when I was, binge watching, and I was like, some people might view this because you're representing Black folks in a negative light, and I would love to hear what their answer is on that, but also hear their answer in their character. Right? So it's great. So you got to watch the show to really understand what I'm saying, because there's in the first season, Roy, played by Julian Horton, he gets caught up outside by the press about, hey, is cancer really hurting these kids? Like, what do you think? And then a kid comes up to them recovering from cancer, and he just like, and then he says something stupid. He didn't really think about what he was going to say. So some of these characters don't really understand what their words can, especially because you're worth all this money, how it can be a detriment to your company and what's at stake. And so I would love to hear their perspective as the actor, and then all their perspective as the character, and getting a character like, oh man, I don't give a fuck about, what I mean? So because that's how these characters are sometimes. They really just don't care because all they see is themselves at the top, and it doesn't matter what family is. Blood is not thicker than water with this family here. It is just like survival of the fittest, whoever can survive. And then you sometimes feel for these characters, which I really love that balance, because they're all fighting their inner demons. And you kind of see the brothers, they're going through the lack of love in their family. The dads, the brothers, they're dealing with their own relationship with their father. So you're really seeing there's so many layers to it. Even Kimmy's character, right? Dealing with her being at home, had to get out of there, and then wind up putting herself in the wrong situation. So everybody, you kind of like, you don't like them, but you understand where they're coming from and their trials and tribulations. So you kind of like, you're rooting for them to get the hell out of this sometimes. But then Kimmy goes on a killing spree, and that's just another whole conversation. So that does, it just, sometimes you're there, and then you're like, this girl's wilding out. Like right?
I'm telling you right now, I'm so confused. I don't even know what to think. I'm just going to turn on the second part 2 and turn off my brain and watch it, because
it is one of those. Yes, you can literally turn off your brain and watch, but you have to be prepared. I remember my girlfriend was like, "Oh, you're not even ready for this episode." And I was like, "Come on!" And then sure enough,
the whole thing too.
Oh yeah, she loves all that stuff. She watched it before I do, and she's like, wait until you see this episode. And then I'm like folding clothes with her, and we're talking. I'm like, I can't believe. She's like, yeah, I told you, it was crazy. I told you. I was like, how did? But it's so like you don't. The beauty of it is you don't see it coming. Like you really don't see it coming. Like I'm foreshadowing like certain scenes. Like, oh, this has to fold in here nice and neat because that's what most TV has done. Tyler literally is saying, I do not care. I'm just gonna go to extremes. Shout out to the set though. Hey, he's doing right by them. The sets are amazing. The houses are amazing. Like everything they've done is really laid out well. Even their corporate offices, like I don't know where he's shooting all this, but it really is amazing. He really makes you believe, their characters and how successful they are. So Tyler Perry runs probably Atlanta right now at this point.
Well, as long as they don't kill Angel, I'm okay.
Oh God. One of the most annoying characters on that show is Angel.
He's my favorite.
He's so annoying. He's so annoying. He's so annoying. Like sometimes I look at him, I'm like, what are you doing? What are you doing? Seriously?
Bro.
I'm come on. You gotta.
Why does he annoy you so much?
Because it just somebody like that just doesn't get like just dumb. You know what I'm saying? Just like does stupid things. And you look at him like, come on, man.
He's a little dumb.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He's a good looking guy. He's fit, all that stuff. But at the end of the day, you're just like,
he's like doofy sometimes. I'm like,
what are you doing? Okay, maybe I'll figure it out. Like even his arguments on the phone sometimes. I'm like, what are you doing? He's like Waldo from Family Matters.
Oh my God.
Yeah, so he's like, ooh. That's how I see him sometimes. I'm like, he's the character. He's a dumb friend. He's just like, oh well, we keep him around because he's fun to talk to.
He's a little bit of a pushover. I'll be like, dang, you letting Kimmy talk to you like that? Jesus.
Oh, everybody pushes him. Anybody. He's like, okay, cool. I'll do this. Okay, you want me to hug you? I'll do it. Yeah. Great. So again, there's a little bit of something for everybody. The lifestyles of the rich and famous, you kind of get that vibe too. The younger son, he's all about just sleeping with whoever he wants, doing drugs, drinking, driving nice cars, and you're just like, okay. So there's a lot of infidelities in this show as well. There's a lot of
like you said,
but there's something for everybody. Everybody looks good, it's
family means nothing to these
nothing.
people.
Nothing
at all. I'm like, from uncle to brother to cousin to sister-in-law to wife. I'm like, y'all just don't care.
Nope. No one cares. No one cares. Yeah, and it can be exhausting. So I will say, get a nap in because your body is in like, wait, what?
Get a bottle of champagne.
Yes. Matter of fact, you should have a support group for this show because
Yes.
you need to talk about it afterwards because you just can't believe what just happened. And no one will believe you if they didn't see, like, really, that happened. I'm telling you, it's crazy. And then when they see it, they're like, yo, that was crazy. That was
They really did that. I didn't believe you, but they really did that. It's one of those. It's definitely one of those. Beauty.
So please, cast Rob as a love interest. Let's get Rob on the screen. See Rob go crazy up in there.
I keep auditioning for Tyler, but they ain't taking the bait yet. I don't know. I think I gotta tone my performance down a little bit.
Yeah, you get a little too aggressive. We already talked about this, man. You can't do the scenes like that. You gotta tone it down.
Come on, Kim Comey.
Yeah, you got a little aggressive. Like, ooh, let's tone it down.
But interestingly enough, I usually audition for the Atlanta casting office, even though I'm in LA. I don't know.
So you like to travel. All right.
We'll see.
Okay. You should probably stop putting that you live in LA.
No, I can't lie. I can't lie.
No, but I mean that you're more likely to get cast if they don't have to fly out all the time.
They don't fly.
No, I know, but they're in their mind like he's got to fly out here, you got to do this and all that stuff. They just want you to be.
I would be a local hire.
That's what I'm saying. I think you need to change.
Like a local hire, so I would have my own travel and accommodations. That's how it would be. I'm already aware of that.
There you go. So anything you'd like to add to the show?
No, just
okay.
Have something to drink.
Something strong, because
turn off your brain a little bit, and just.
It's not. I don't think you got to turn off your brain. I think you have to turn off like what the consciousness of knowing between what's right and wrong. I think you have to turn that off. Like, turn off judgment. If you can turn off the judgment in your head and just take it for what it is, I think you can have a good time. If you're going to start judging these characters, I don't think you'll make it past the second, third episode.
And then start a text chat with all your friends and tell them all what episode you're on so you all can have a
there you go.
Good old laugh and conversation about this show. It is addicting, but I don't know why, but it's so addicting. I can't stop watching
The fact that they didn't have like a meet and greet after each episode is a miss, or even after season. It's seriously a huge miss. Tyler, huge miss. We could do it. We could do the interview. Black Film.
Yeah, they should do like a After Beauty and Black podcast. So that after every episode,
we can talk about the character, what went down. We're asking for this. BlackFilm.com. Rewind with Ro and Rob. We would love to interview them and talk about what just went down, because I need to know. I need to understand where these characters are going. Why are they so all over the place? And do they even know? I wonder if these characters even know how crazy they are.
Oh, of course they know.
No. I think you play at some point
in the project, or the actors portraying the characters.
Portraying the characters. I think a part of you has to have a little bit of that in you.
No, that's what I'm saying. You have to turn off that thing in your head that judges the character, because if you're reading that script, you're going, this person is certified insane. Like, but you got to turn it off and be like, okay, I'm not gonna judge this character. I'm just gonna live in it. But they crazy. They are all crazy.
And you think there's one of them that's sane, and then you're like, oh no.
Not Charles. You said they all think he's dead, and you're
so when his wife when he takes her out of the hospital, that whole ambulance scene, I was like, come on, man.
The poor ambulance girl, I'm like, she can't even survive. Like, let the paramedic, she don't have nothing to do with this. Let her live.
I thought he was. She's looking at her like, you killed my wife?
I was like, this is, oh Lord.
There's no boundaries for like, you are safe. They don't care. They just don't care. No holds bars. Just whatever can fly will fly. So it is very chaotic and crazy. But it is like I said, that soap opera with the budget, because every week you were turning to soap operas when you were a kid. Your mom or your grandma, she was watching soap operas. You're like, why does she watch this every? It's like a novella on a black novella.
Yeah, I guess
right. Does that make more sense?
I hear you, because I remember when I was watching like The Passions and somebody was living in a wall and they didn't know it. person who was living the wall was a half man, half woman, and they would wear an outfit where on one side of the room, on one side of the room. I was like, where do y'all come up with this? Is very much giving that.
There you go. See, ladies and gentlemen, it didn't even take a full next week. It just took him in the episode. I told him. Did I say it? Look back. Rewind.
You did.
Rewind. I said
you did. Because I'm telling you right now, whew, there's a lot to get ready. If you are watching, get ready for this roller coaster. Drink some champagne, get some popcorn, curl up on the couch, and just get ready. Turn your brain off. I'm gonna tell you that right now, though.
That's right. And again, your loved one might judge you, but then they'll be hooked in.
They're gonna be like, "Why are you watching this?" And then sit down and be like, "Can we start over?"
What I missed? Please put it back. What I missed?
It's definitely giving that. I actually did that to someone. I was like, I'm watching this show, and they're staying with me, and they're like, "Oh, I'm not watching that." I was like, "Just watch one episode." And literally, she went back and watched the entire thing, and then called her family and was like, "I can't. Rob has me watching this show," and they were like, "Why are you watching that?" And
they
watched the whole thing. I was like, "You can't stop."
It is an amazing, beautiful train wreck. That's exactly what it is.
Sprinkle crack on it or something. I don't know why.
It's a well done train wreck. It's such a well done train wreck. Like you're just like, I can't believe. Because again, I want to stop. I'm like, all right, I had enough. And then you're like, no,
I have to see what.
No, I can't believe they just did that. No, now I gotta see another episode.
Yeah, protecting the art of the cliffhanger every episode too.
Oh, next level. There's never been a cliff like every perfect ending of a show. Tyler Perry has put it all in each episode. Like you're just like, okay, I'll come back. I gotta do it. Now I gotta see what happened to this character.
You're like, dang, it's 2:45 in the morning, but I'm gonna just watch one more episode.
I gotta be up early too. I'm like, damn, I got one more. Let me try to squeeze this one in real quick. It's like trying to squeeze a workout in. I'm trying to get a set in before I go, by my day. And now I'm shaking at work like, man, this is crazy. No one can really understand what I'm going through right now. I can't wait till the show starts to talk about it. Need to get it out.
Exactly.
Yeah, you need to have an outlet. I would definitely say if you're gonna watch this or binge watch it, you need to have an outlet or you might go crazy.
100%.
You might go crazy. Anyway, that's it. That's our show. Check him out again. Lil Kev, Kevin Hart's new cartoon on BET Plus. And then we have Beauty in Black, Tyler Perry's new show. It's like 1 million episodes on Netflix. So things are coming out. That's great. Beauty in Black and Kevin Hart and just more jobs. More jobs with that. You know what? DI hires. Get out of here, play. We got this. Let's go. Black excellence. Let's go.
And all these black studios, Tyler Perry. I love
That's what I'm saying. We don't need you. Oh, and shout out to Captain America, number one movie. Shout out. So check us out last week. We did the review on Captain America. So everything feels good right now, even though the world's on fire. Yeah, black feels good right now, even though the rest of the country's on fire. No, but black feels real good right now, right?
It does.
Right? Feels good.
It does.
Like when you get that extra tan, that brown, like, ooh, I got a little sun today.
You get that Miami tan, bro?
Hey, I sometimes I fall asleep on the deck.
Oh,
and
no.
that sun will come in like halfway, so I gotta put sunblock on my face sometimes because you just never know. I pass out. I'm just like, oh shoot, and you don't want that sunburn where you're like half your face. Yeah, I have a convertible, and I remember when I lived in Boston, I would drive back, and from here to here was like another color than the rest of my face. Because this, the top, like literally right there, and the sun would hit like right there all the time. Like I was literally peeling my forehead peel.
Yikes!
So you got to protect your skin. The melanin only lasts but so long. The sun has been another level. Anyway, that's our show. Thank you all for tuning in. I think we're going to the movie theaters next week. So yeah,
that's right. We are.
Yeah, there's some movies coming out. So doing a movie review. Friday's gonna be our new night. Is that the thing we're doing?
I think so.
I'm in Boston next week, so I think I can find a computer there. If not, we'll have to push out, but I'll let you know. Okay. Yeah, Thursday to Monday, I'm in Boston. So unless you can do another show earlier, but if not, Friday will be. We'll figure it out. Perfect. Anyway, thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you, Rob, for always doing what you do.
Well, thank you, Ro.
There you go. Feel better, buddy.
Thank you. I'm gonna go lay on the couch and watch Beauty in Black.
As you should. Peace.